Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw, and I'm here with Stephanie Quilligan, who is with Mower, which is an independent marketing and advertising PR firm that sort of specializes in travel. And Mower recently, in fact, last week, put out a survey of travel intentions and what people want to do as we emerge from this crisis. So it should be a good indicator of exactly how we might recover. So we're going to talk to Stephanie about this survey and where travel is headed in the future and much more on Insider Travel Report. Hi, Stephanie. Now, where are you and where are these days? And are you hopefully you're safe and healthy up there in the New York area?
Hi, James. I'm doing well. I'm very good. Yes, I'm in New York City at the moment, but I'm happy and healthy and safe, and my family and friends are safe. So we're doing well. Yeah, we're good.
But again, you are from Ireland too, so I hope people are safe over there as well.
They are all safe at home. Yeah, yeah.
No, that's great, and we'll talk a little bit about that. What you're hearing from over there, but now let's see. Mower is, as I described it, an independent marketing, advertising, and PR agency. Who are some of your travel clients?
Yeah, so we have a wide range of travel industry clients at Mower, from the Lufthansa Group, the CIE Tours, Westchester County, Pebble
which is where I live. So I've got to turn to you to find out what's going on in my own region.
It's a beautiful place. You're very lucky to live there. Yeah, Pebble Beach Resorts, Hotel Pennsylvania, Sofitel New York. So a wide range.
Okay, that's great. So you have some sense of what's going on in the industry. So you just revealed the results of this new survey of U.S. travelers. What was the biggest finding of this survey?
Yeah, so Mower recently polled a random selection of 1,000 adults throughout the US regarding their comfort level returning to various activities and when the COVID restrictions are eased. So the biggest finding of the survey was that once restrictions are lifted, 60 days will pass before the majority of Americans will feel comfortable returning to travel-related activities. We do expect, though, that travel planning will be in full force in the initial days and weeks after restrictions are lifted, due to the fact that, we're all suffering from a bit of cabin fever. So, yeah, we expect to see lots of planning.
Well, and indeed, you look at different ways that Americans are going to travel as we emerge and the mode of travel. And I think the first one, obviously, and a lot of people have said this before, that it will be drive before flights. And how does that change over I think you measured it over what they call day one after the crisis, day 30 and day 60, I guess. So how does that move? You start by driving and then eventually start to think about flying?
Yeah, so the survey found that initially travelers will be more inclined to take to the road, as you said. And then by air, so eventually. So with 28% of those surveyed will take to the road on day one for their vacations. And then that's compared to 16% who said they'll fly in a plane. I think in the beginning, driving will be a more popular way because it gives travelers that feeling of control. And then by day 30, 51% of those surveyed would be comfortable traveling by car, and 24% of travelers would fly by plane. And then again, by day 60, we see that over half would fly by plane and 73% would be comfortable traveling by car. So we're gradually seeing an increase in demand for travel and travel by plane, which is very reassuring for the industry.
Well, that's good news. And it's basically about 2 months before people sort of get comfortable in terms of traveling by plane. At least half of them will. So that's good news for the travel industry. Now you also looked at how they will, where they will go, and a lot of people think it's going to be local, domestic, sort of short domestic trips versus international. How does the survey find that Americans are going to travel, where they're going to travel, day 1, day 30, day 60?
Mm-hmm. So unsurprisingly, American travelers will be travel domestically to begin with. However, there is a gradual increase between day 1, day 30, and day 60 for international travel. And by day 60, 42% of those surveyed will be comfortable traveling internationally.
Well, that's it. And hopefully, I know I think a lot of people are looking at next year as being when they might get back to certain destinations. So we'll see what happens there. Now, your survey also finds sort of a disparity among Americans on whether they would regain trust sooner in hotels versus what you call privately owned vacation rentals. And surprisingly, hotels came out on top, which I actually am somewhat interested in, because you would think that private accommodations, they would not want to be in a hotel, but your survey found the opposite.
Yeah. So the survey itself didn't find out why exactly that is, but we believe that it's largely because of how vocal and how present the hotel industry has been in the media about how they're going to implement changes to ensure the health and safety of their guests.
No, and having been, and I'll admit right now to everyone here that I am actually not in your area, where I'm living around Westchester County normally, but I'm in Florida, and I have indeed tried a hotel, 2 different hotels, and now I'm in an Airbnb, so privately owned and hotels. So I guess I think I would skew the survey a bit, don't you think?
You would.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, did the survey examine trust in any other forms of travel, airlines, cruises, tours?
No. This survey was established as a baseline for the return to travel in general. So we didn't look at kind of individual industries, but it's something you could look into in the future.
Now, the other thing it looked at was the sort of types of travel that American travelers will try on day 1, day 30, day 60, and types of being, you're going to go to a public park, a beach, a bar, restaurant, museum, theme park, which is right down the block from me, actually, not open right now, spa, casino, and of course we were all waiting for Vegas to reopen. Can you talk a little bit about what the findings were there in terms of what types of travel Americans will take?
Sure, yeah. So 1 in 4 Americans said that they would head to the beach on day 1. And we've already seen that really in states that have already reopened. And then by day 60, almost 3 in 4 have said that they would be comfortable going to the beach. Theme parks, spas and casinos, on the other hand, will feel a little bit more like a gamble, with only 1 in 7 Americans comfortable returning on day 1, and roughly half by day 60. In terms of bars and restaurants, in the beginning, 22% will feel comfortable heading to a bar or restaurant. However, by day 60, this will increase to approximately 70%, which is a really positive sign for the hospitality industry.
And then, of course, we're all waiting to get back to those casinos, right? Well, I know Las Vegas is waiting for us to get back to those casinos, and maybe Atlantic City. So we'll see what happens. But now, did you look at any specific destinations domestically or internationally that Americans will travel to in this survey yet?
Again, not in this survey, but it's something we may think about for future polls for sure. Yeah.
Okay, and originally you are from Ireland, and I don't know if I expect you've spoken to a few people over there to find out how they're doing. What is the general feeling over there about desire to travel? And I don't even know what the conditions are in Ireland. I assume they're under lockdown as well, at least for now. But is there also demand over there? Are people getting a little cabin fever and they're ready to go?
Yeah, people are definitely getting cabin fever over there as well. And there is a want to travel. The European Commission has set out clear guidelines and recommendations to help EU countries, gradually lift travel restrictions and allow tourism to reopen. But it's the same as here, really. So it depends on the rates of infection and the falling number of cases. There's no immediate rush for international travel. Again, the same as here. But most of the travel will take place on the island of Ireland. But I mean, if you're going to take a positive from it, it's definitely great to see that more Irish people will, travel around Ireland. Ironically, there's a lot of people that I meet from other countries who've seen more of the country than I have. So, and it's not just me alone. A lot of people are the same. Irish people tend to travel abroad for their vacations just because the weather is so unpredictable in Ireland. So yeah, that's a really positive thing to take from it, that people will be able to explore the country, which is great. It's been the weather's been really nice for them at home.
Oh, that's great. No, that's
it's I don't know. They've had almost 10 weeks of sunshine, which is very, very rare. So yeah, they seem to be doing well at home.
Well, I was in Ireland once a few years back where they had that kind of sunshine, and then the problem was having drought. So, it's either or. And so people are complaining and telling me, it usually rains a lot here. And I'm like, why are you telling me that? It's beautiful. I would come back here in a second. And I've traveled in Ireland a few times, and I'm ready to travel there right now. I don't know about anybody else. It's high on my list because exploring Irish castles and the Cliffs of Moher and Dublin and all these things would be high in my list once things open up. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, is there any other results from this survey that came as a surprise or something you want to highlight and something you didn't expect?
Nothing came as a total surprise, but it definitely left us feeling hopeful for the future of the travel industry. We see it coming back stronger than ever. The stay-at-home orders, if anything, have given us a greater appreciation for the freedom of travel, which a lot of us would have taken for granted before. And the pandemic has brought us together as like one whole global family. So we really can't wait to explore the world again and get traveling.
No, and I absolutely agree with that. And I am itching to get out on the road. Of course, I'm a bit different because I travel about half the month of any month and sometimes a full month. So for me, it's been interesting. And then again, I can't complain because I am sort of traveling now too, waiting for the Walt Disney World to open. I'm at the gates now, so we'll see what happens. And they are actually Disney Springs, which is their entertainment restaurant complex, is opening on the 20th. So that's a precursor. Otherwise, I think I have to fly to Shanghai if I want to do Disney, right? They're open. So we'll see what happens.
I think so, yeah. I think a lot of us have itchy feet at this stage. We're ready to go, ready to explore.
Well, Stephanie, thank you very much for taking the time this morning to talk with us about this new survey. Now, is Moher going to do another one?
Yes, there's talks about doing another survey. And I think there'll be more findings from this one as well, that will be released over the next couple of weeks. So we'll keep you posted on that.
Fantastic. Well, thanks again. I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.